Hey everyone, I'm Amy. Welcome to the video. I do a lot of 3-day foundation wear tests, full face first impressions, project pans, things like that. Today's video is my summer project pan intro. This seasonal project pan is kind of inspired by the one and only Tara Brooke. I will link her stuff down below. She does do monthly check-ins on her seasonal stuff, and she kind of picks pretty much a new stash kind of the whole time. But for me, I'm taking seasonal as I will have a main project pan for the whole year and give you seasonal updates. And during those seasonal updates, I will be rotating a few items in and out. I'm only doing seasonal updates because I'm terrible at using my products, and seasonal is my best thing right now. Maybe next year we will get into yearly. But if you like project pans and you want to see how I did this season, what I'm taking out, what I'm putting in, what I emptied, things like that, then just keep watching. All right, guys, I am gonna link or card last season's so that you guys can check that out if you haven't already, or I'll do my whole playlist. Sorry if you see a tissue in my hand, my eye waters incessantly. It's been watering for like 2 years. So if you are an optometrist, tell me what that means. But let's get into the products. I don't know what order I should do these in. I feel like I did them in like the order of the way that I wear stuff, but I think I'm gonna do it in the order of like what section of the project it's coming from. So the first section is gonna be items that I'm so close to using up. I'm keeping them in the project pan. I'm going to use them up. So first we have the Becca Hydra Powder. It doesn't say the name of this type of powder. I keep forgetting it, but it's Hydra something. But this is definitely the product where the lines do not stay on the product, because as soon as I go to use it and I twist the top, I wipe my marker lines off. But I am going to show you up close. I will have like an up close picture without me in it, but I am so close. There is so little in here, and I don't powder that much. So I'm really excited. So I will be keeping this in until I am done. And summer's here, so who knows? Maybe I'm going to be powdering my face more. I powdered my face today, and I still got the glowy look that I love. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. The Never Ending Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. I do have lines on this one. I have done a big chunk since last time because I did use everything that was in the sponge, and then I had to twist it up again. So then there was more stuff in the sponge. It's so interesting how much that sponge holds. It's disgusting. If you have this, I recommend pulling off the sponge like Ava did, because I can't even imagine how much disgustingness was in that. So what I've been doing, actually, instead of putting this on my face a lot, I've been just taking my sponge to the sponge and taking the product off. And I still really like this. I mean, I don't feel like, man, I have to use that concealer. I'm like, every time I use it, I'm like, wow, this concealer is so good. So I'm not mad that I do already have 2 other ones in my collection, but I don't need 3 of the same concealer. So we are going to use this up this year, okay? This, I have a feeling I will be able to finish by the next update, but this one might take me the rest of the year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I can do. Let's see. The Smashbox Primerizer. I did not draw a new line on this yet, but I will before I show you the close-up. I'm getting about to the point where I'm going to have to take off the lid and pour this in my hands. I'm just at the end. I feel like I can definitely finish this by the next update. It's probably like less than 5 uses, honestly. It's just, I don't prime my face. I forget every single day. Like, I will pull this out and I will put it in front of all of the things for me to do my makeup, and then I will just grab the foundation and put the foundation. I'm like, get it together. So I will use this. I just need to get it together. The Wet n Wild Photo Focus Setting Spray. I held this in front of a light to make sure I got a really good line and everything, and I am surprised to see how much I've done in the past couple of months. I've been using it a lot to use my brow wax, and I actually have set my face a few times, which is like wild for me. Like, I never set my face, but especially I used the Huda Beauty stick foundation, and that's just a little bit dry for me. So using a setting spray helps me out a lot with that. So I will definitely be able to use this. I just need to keep it next to me at all times and use it whenever I possibly can. Those are the things that I will finish this year, that I am keeping in my project pan, and these are just the updates. These next things are things I'm keeping in my project pan, not finishing them. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for a Superstar Youth Glow. I said that I really wanted to test this out. I think I put 20 uses, if I remember correctly, from my notes that are sitting in front of me. Yes, I put 20 uses on here because I wanted to get an idea of it. I wanted to compare it to the Auric Glow Lust and some other things in my collection, decide if this was for me, how I felt about it. I do have some thoughts about it, like it is definitely, it's similar to Glow Lust, but they are not the same at all. This is more of a highlight for sure, whereas Glow Lust is like skincare, if that makes sense. But I have only used this about 5 times, so I am going to keep it in my project until I use it for those 20 times, because I still, just those thoughts are from, like, you know, swatches and using it a handful of times. I don't really know if I have a use for this in my collection, what I like it for, things like that. I want to get a more well-rounded idea of this product, so I'm keeping it in my project. I don't have anything but 15 more uses is my plan for that bad boy. And speaking of Auric, I had my Smoke Reflex in here. I had all 3 of them, and I wanted to have 5 uses each. So for Defiance and Temper, I definitely hit my 5 uses. I find myself using the creams a lot more than using the toppers, which is so weird because I always use a different eyeshadow over the creams. So it's like, why am I not using the topper? But I'm much more of a metallics person than a glitter person, and I feel like these toppers are just glitter toppers. They're just sparkly little scattered pieces of glitter, which they're beautiful, but I like something that's a metallic with some glitter, so that's kind of what I use with them. So I definitely have used these. I love these as a base, using the cream as a base. So I'm going to take these out of my project pan, staying in my collection, just out of my project pan. I know how I like to use them now. So now in the future, when I'm going to create a look or I have something in mind, I know to reach for them. That's kind of the point. Now, Ego, which is the really dark one, I have only used 2 times. Oof. Because it's so dark, I think, and I usually use like a more neutral, paler situation, but the 2 times that I use this, I really love the look. So I am going to keep this in here until I hit that 5 uses at least, because I am more excited to use this, and actually, since it's so dark, I want to see if I can create summer looks with it rather than like grungy fall winter looks. So I'm going to keep this in here, and I have to do my 3 more uses before I can take it out. All right, now I don't know if you remember this, but in my winter one, I brought in this number 7 Radiance vitamin C, but then in my spring one, I said I'm going to pause this because I have other vitamin C's that I want to use, and I was going to bring this back into my project this time, but the shelf life on this is 3 months, and if I had this in December, that means that I'm at least at 6 months since I've opened it. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I did use half of it, so I feel like that's okay for something that's affordable. When I was trying out other things, like obviously I would have preferred to use it, but I'm a dummy, so I didn't think about that. But I did like it when I used it. I like how it smells. It smells like Fruity Pebbles. I remember that. It didn't give me as much of a difference as my favorite, the Sunday Riley CEO. The vitamin C one that's in the tall orange bottle, not the one that's in that soft pale orange, not the new one. I haven't tried that one. But it is a serum and not like a cream, so I don't know if that makes a difference. I am trying some vitamin C's that I am actually actively using. One is a cream, one is an oil. So I feel like they give you a different, it just depends on what you like. But if you were looking for an affordable vitamin C that is an oil, I do recommend this. I do think it's really nice. And I like it. I don't know. I like the packaging. I like the smell. I like how it works. I like how it feels, everything like that. But it is way past its expiration, so I'm going to have to get rid of that. So sorry, but let's talk about a couple of other things that I'm going to go ahead and just declutter that I didn't think I was going to declutter. First thing, the e.l.f. water essence. I have used like none of this. It's all the way up to here right now. I don't want to reach for this, you know? Like I have, like I said in my last one, this one kind of takes the place of hyaluronic acid. I don't know if there's even hyaluronic acid in here. There's niacinamide, coffee, I don't know, purified water, coconut water, and algae. Is algae good for me? I don't know. Should I use this? Should I keep it? So I basically use this in place of my hyaluronic acid as like the first step while my face is still a little bit wet, so I can create that like soft, ready for more product base to my skincare. But I just like my hyaluronic acids so much better than this. I do think it's nice to use that like essence bottle motion. It makes me feel really fancy because that's what all the rich people use is essence. But I just like my hyaluronic acids better, and I can't see myself choosing this. Like maybe if I could find a way to use them both, but I just haven't yet. In the last 6 months, I've either used this or hyaluronic acid, and I enjoy using the experience of using my hyaluronic acid better. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. I will see if someone else that I know wants this or will use it. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this. This is leaving my collection. And then this product, which I keep putting in project pans, and I keep like not boiling water to see actually where it is. And that is this mini of the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Light to Vanilla. I don't know what the longevity of the shelf life of this is, but I have had this for 2 years. It's a mini and I haven't even gone through it. So if that lets you know how unremarkable this consistency is for me. So I'm going to go ahead and just declutter it. Like it's just sitting there taunting me every single day. So I am getting rid of it. My Fenty Cream Bronzer. I had 20 uses on this, and I definitely got 20 uses out of this. I have been really loving cream bronzer. I've been loving this one, the Danessa Myricks one, the Mario one, so many good ones. I'm really excited that I got some use out of this. So now I have an idea in my mind of when I want to use this, what kind of effect that it gives me. So really happy about this. Going back into my drawers. Okay, this next product is the Flower Beauty Light Peach Color Corrector. I had 20 uses on this, and I only used it 10 times, but I feel like I've got a good enough opinion on it that I'm going to go ahead and take it out. So basically my entire point, let me go ahead and give you this spiel now, is that people were comparing this to the Becca Under Eye Corrector, and the consistencies are nowhere near they're not like each other at all. Look at how juicy, this is the Becca one. Look at how juicy that is. And look at how dry the Flower Beauty one is. There's absolutely no moisture to it. This one is like, I don't even know, super wet, creamy, tacky, moisturizing, hydrating. This one is not. But I thought, hey, maybe that means it's like my MAC paint pot. So this one is the MAC paint pot, this one is the flower pot. So they do have a more similar consistency. As you can see, there's not really much of a reflect to them, and they are a bit more stiff. But the MAC paint pot has a much better color. This is Painterly, and this is Light Peach. This one is just a bit peachy for me. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to keep it in my collection, and that way when I do like a full face of drugstore, I can keep it drugstore and use this as like my eyeshadow base type situation. But I don't love it under the eyes. It's just a little bit too drying for me. Just like I would never put the paint pot underneath my eyes. It is too drying for me, but I do like it on my lids as a like primer for eyeshadow or whatever. So now I know like where it sits in my collection and compared to the two similar things in my collection. So I feel comfortable putting it back into my collection and not keeping it in the project for its full uses. So going back into my collection. And then here is, it's the most exciting because it's an empty. It's something that I panned, I finished it up, but it's not really exciting because it's just a lip balm. It's the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm, and this one was in peach, and I used this to death. I even took my Sunday Riley Jet Lag, like that thing that they give you to squish, to squeeze all of the rest of this out. This is a goner. It is completely empty, and I've already started using another one. I love this product. I will use it probably the rest of my life. I'm back on to Pear, baby, but this one is out. I'm not going to add a lip balm in this time because I'm just going to use my lip balm regardless. So if it ends up in an empties, it ends up in an empties. There's no point in calling it part of my project pan when it's not something that I have to actively try to use, you know? So empty, woohoo! I have quite a few things that I want to bring in this time for different reasons. So let's start with these ones. I'm bringing in 2 cards. I have so many sample cards of so many different things that I just never use. I'm like, oh, I want that sample. I want to try that, and then I never try it. So I'm putting these in here so that I try them. So the first one is the Shiseido Ultimate Sun Protector Lotion in SPF 50. This will probably be just a one-time use, so I'm going to go ahead and use it this very weekend because it's going to be 100 million degrees outside. I don't know if I'll wear it under makeup. I guess it'll depend on how the finish looks once I'm done with it. If it's like a beautiful glowy finish like the sunscreen that I already used, I might try it with makeup and then I'll have an opinion on that. But if it's just like a sunscreen, I'm not gonna put makeup on it, but I am gonna use this. Gosh dang it. So this is in my project. And then I have this little sample of the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer, and it does have shade 160C and 180W, which look like they would be pretty good concealer shades for me. So this product has been out a long time, and I feel like the concealer is one of the things that people are still using. The concealer and the liquid blushes are things that people are still using to this day, whereas like the foundation, I feel like it was like a hit or miss thing, so I'm not as curious about the foundation. But the concealer, curious about. I have a card, I'm gonna try it, so I'm putting this in my project. Speaking of those liquid blushes, I do have a, I guess this is a mini, right? This is not the full size, of the shade Bliss, but I also have like a actual extremely tiny version of, there was definitely, oh, it's a, hold on. I do not know the shade of this. It doesn't say on here. I think there was a sticker on the bottom and I've lost it. So I'll have to put the shade name on the top, but it's kind of like the rosy shade, and then Bliss is like the most neutral shade. Both of these are of the matte formula. So I don't have the shiny, reflective, glowy, dewy, I think that's what they call it. I don't have the dewy formula to try, but I'm putting these in because I did an entire cream blush video. I've done 2 powder blush videos. Why have I not done liquid blushes? I have some liquid blushes, so I'm bringing in my liquid blushes. So we've got the Rare Beauty one in Bliss, the Rare Beauty one in this color, and then I'm gonna bring in my Eloise one in Hot Pink. I feel like I like this. I like this formula, everything like that. Like, I have tried this. I do like this, but it is such an intense color that I need to kind of learn how to use it, or I need to get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just keep this because I like the idea of this product and I like the formula. I want to keep it because I like this specific one that I'm going to use in my collection. So I want to put this in. And I think since I'm bringing in 3 liquid blushes, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the Smoke Reflex, and I'm going to do 15 total, 5 uses each. When I look at Bliss, I feel like 5 uses of this will be really easy. When I look at this one, I'm like, 5 uses of that might be a little bit harder because that looks kind of like an intense color. When I look at this one, I'm like, 5 uses of that's going to be hard. So I'm excited to try these out, get some thoughts on the rare ones, and decide if I'm going to keep this in my collection. Which I feel like for the summer, it's like a good color. But 5 uses each for these. All right, and then I'm gonna bring in my Tower 28 Bronzino in West Coast. They did recently come out with some more colors, but I do have the shade West Coast, and I have used it. I do like the shade on me, but it is like one of the newest bronzers to my collection that I didn't become instantly obsessed with. It's like I bought that Mario one and that Mario contour stick, and I was like, I'm using this for the rest of my life. I love it. So I know that I liked this. I just don't remember or have good enough feelings on it. So I would like to put this in for let's give it 20 uses. Let's do 20 uses. I know 20 uses, it didn't work for me last time around, but it did work for me for the bronzer. I feel like 20 uses on a bronzer is a little bit easier than 20 uses on, what did I not do? 20 uses on an under eye corrector, because I don't use those regularly. I don't know. But I'm gonna put 20 uses on this because I feel like this is the perfect kind of bronzer for summer. It's got that like super glowy look of all cream face, you know, things like that. I think I will really dig into this in the summer. And then I also want to bring this into my project, and I'm not bringing this into my project to make me use it more or get an opinion on it, because I already have an opinion on it, and the opinion is that I love it and I already use it every day. But I'm going to pull this in so that I can specifically focus on hitting pan on this little mini of the Charlotte Tilbury powder in the shade Pale Fair. I already have such, I'll give you the close-up, but I have such a big dip in this pan already. Like I feel like I'm like more than halfway there. So I would love to hit pan on this. I will obviously continue to use it, but I just think it would be really exciting to hit pan on it. And then maybe I can tell myself that when I finish it, I don't know if I'll finish it this year. Maybe I'll finish it this year. And then I can tell myself I can get like the full size, because this is not her under eye powder. This is her face powder that I love using for my under eyes, and I love using it like right here. It's super blurring. Love this powder. And then I have one more thing that I'm gonna bring in, and this I'm bringing in because it is summer, baby. And I'm bringing in this SPF, this spray SPF, the Ultra Sheer Face Mist Sunscreen from Neutrogena. It's a broad spectrum SPF 55. And I saw Katie Jane Hughes use it, and it was like a glowy, perfect, beautiful setting spray, which, hello, perfect. So I would love to get some use out of this. I have used it one time and it didn't irritate my eyes or anything. So that's props. That's what I was kind of nervous about, because sunscreen does sometimes irritate my eyes. But it's the summer. I need to make myself use this. So I'm going to put it in. So sorry. I'm going to put it into my project. I don't know. Should I have uses on a sunscreen? I also would kind of, it's a face mist, but it's SPF 55. So I kind of feel like I should use this for my body too, see how it works on my body. Because that might be a super awesome hack if the sunscreen is like a sunscreen, but it's like glowy and looks delicious on your skin. So I don't know, 20 uses for the sunscreen. I'll probably and hopefully use it more. I obviously will still use sunscreen under my makeup, like a cream sunscreen, but you can't reapply sunscreen. Well, it's harder to reapply sunscreen over your makeup, but this would make it really easy. So yeah, that is everything. That means my project now has 14 items in my project. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of which I plan to empty. 1 of which I plan to hit pan, and the rest have specific uses. So yeah, now I'm gonna go get my permanent marker, make some markings on these, get you guys those close-ups that you already saw during this entire video, and hopefully get some really good close-ups. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.